It has finally happened. An airline is now charging passengers by their weight. The bigger you are, the more you pay. Samoa Air, the national carrier of the small Pacific island of Samoa, made the decision earlier this year to implement the new pricing plan. Right there on its website, the airline says it's keeping airfares fair by charging passengers only for what they weigh. Samoa Air says the rates per passenger range from $1 a kilo on domestic routes to more than $4 a kilo for flights to American Samoa. Joining us now on the line is the airline's Chief Executive Officer, Chris Langton. Chris, it's good to speak with you. Thanks for joining us here. Explain, how is it that you got to these charges? Why did you put this program in place?
I guess it's come over many years of just watching what's happening with the industry, and being a pilot, you know that what makes airplanes work is weight. It always has been weight, and it doesn't matter whether it's a big airplane or a small airplane. It all comes down to how much weight you've got to sell over a given sector to pay for that sector. So what we're in the vendoring business here. We're actually selling not seats, we're selling weight. And it's always been the issue, because nobody wants to go there on account of how it may be confrontational or seen to be discriminatory or something like that. But in fact, you can see very quickly that there's only one fair way of paying for what you carry on an airplane, which is weight, and that's to pay it by the kilo. So we actually instituted this in November of last year, but that's probably only the last couple of weeks where we've stepped into the international market, that people from overseas are getting onto the website, and they're appraising the benefits and getting their sort of heads around the concept that paying by weight is the fairest method of all when it comes to air travel.
Chris, you mentioned... Sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned that this is a sensitive issue. It often is when you talk about people's weight. So how have your passengers there been reacting to these charges?
Well, I mean, here we're in an area of the world where people they're in the top 4 or 5 when it comes to weight and being overweight. So it's always going to be a sensitive issue, and it's not something that you can. Sometimes we try to keep it lighthearted. We try to keep people on the positive side, particularly those that are carrying a fair bit of bulk. But the thing is that it works both ways. People who pay more deserve more. So it's in our interest to make sure that we take care of the people who've chalked in at 150, 180 kilos. They've paid their fare, and then we try to give them what they should have, which is a comfortable seat. We try to make sure that they've got space around them, that taller people have got more leg room. Within the confines of what you can do with an aeroplane these days, we try to do it.
Sure.
And that's the next step. You know, the next step is for the industry to make those sort of changes and recognise that, hey, we're not all 72 kilos anymore, and we don't all fit into a standard seat.
It makes it easy to work out your costs. We can carry everything that people want to carry on board. It makes us much more efficient. Since we've opened up the services to international, and it's raised the awareness of the pay-by-weight system. And the indications are that once people have acknowledged that the airplane runs by weight and not by seats, it makes it a lot easier for them to understand.